Hey, welcome back to my channel. This video is my third installment of my Vanguard portfolio updates, and today I'll be sharing with you my actual Vanguard portfolio as of today, the 25th of July 2021. I'm going to continue to make these videos regardless of how much money is actually in these accounts, because when I got started I couldn't find anybody that was fully transparent with the numbers, so I thought I would do exactly that. Everybody that I was watching, and still do watch on YouTube, shared their investment strategies, but for some reason they didn't want to show the behind the scenes of what their portfolio actually looked like. I personally think that being completely open with the numbers, people who are new to investing or people who are looking to get started can get a feel for how it works and understand that actually it's not as daunting as it may seem. So before we get started, please consider helping me reach my target of 1,000 subscribers by hitting the subscribe button below. I'm pretty close and I would appreciate the support. And remember, if you get any value from this video, please remember to hit the like button. It's been a little over a year now since I invested my first penny, and now it feels automatic. The money that I invest is transferred into both my SIP and my ISA every single month as soon as possible after payday. And over the last couple of months, I've really been adding as many extra payments as I can into my ISA to reach my goal of £3,000 by December this year. And as you will soon see, I've already reached this goal as of today. Pretty good timing for this video, really. So if you've not watched any of the previous videos that I've made about my Vanguard portfolio, I'll link the videos in the description box below. So if you're interested in seeing the progression of my portfolio and the historic returns that I've been making, check those videos out. But to quickly recap, in my June portfolio update, I made a 22.66 return year to date. The total invested within my Vanguard account was 7,287.38 pence, 5,319.57 within my SIP, and 1,967.80 within my stocks and shares ISA. So this month I've not made any changes to my investments, and I plan to continue throwing as much money as I can into the Vanguard Life Strategy 100 fund. If you want to find out a little bit more about that fund, I'll link a video above. I still plan in the future to weight more of my portfolio towards the US, utilising the S&P 500. However, my focus now is to build up a solid base. I really like the Life Strategy 100 fund, which will remain the foundation for my portfolio going forward. So let's take a look at July's numbers. So here we are at the Vanguard portfolio overview page. And as you can see, the total value of the portfolio is £8,583.16. So that's a total increase of £1,295.80 in comparison to June. So the SIP, as you can see there with the pension, it's an increase of £240.20 from last month, and the ISA has jumped up a fair bit with an increase in £1,055.60. And like I said, that comes down to this last month. I've really done whatever I can for any extra money to throw at it. I really want to build that pot as large as possible, as soon as possible, just to allow compound interest and compound growth over the next sort of 20 years to just grow into the biggest pot that I can get. And I know some people would say, as far as your pension goes, because you get the tax relief, to put more money into that, but I'm trying to equalise it so that I actually have access to the money, because obviously with the pension currently I can only access it at 55 and I get taxed on it, whereas with the ISA it's accessible at any point, so I can stagger my ISA and then grow my pension over time as well. So at the moment my focus really is to make sure that my ISA grows as quickly as possible, to as big as possible. So picking up overtime at work, any bit of extra money I get, obviously I'll balance that percentage out with other things as well, but I'm really focusing on my ISA at the moment, so that's why there's quite a big jump. And obviously if you look at the returns, it's just constantly hovering around between the 20 and 30% mark, and it has done pretty much since I started. And again, like I've said in my other videos, that's not something that I'm expecting to get all the time. However, that is something that I have historically got, and I'm going to just ride the wave, whether we think that I'm paying over the odds for the fund, because it's increased quite a lot since I first opened it. It's irrelevant. I'm dollar cost averaging or pound cost averaging, I'm just going to continue to put money in whenever I have it, not going to think about the price, and just keep going, smooth out the wave. So let's start with the pension to see where we're at. So total value there, with the total gain since inception, which was just over a year ago, of £906.52. So since the new tax year, since April, I've put £240, so I'm currently putting in £80 a month. That will go up soon, but like I said, I'm focusing on the ISA. So I do pay money into my defined benefit scheme at work, which is quite a lot that comes out of my paycheck for that, but I want to, like I said, stagger it and have my own sort of SIP on the side. So £80 a month, which rounds up to 100 with the tax relief. So far this year, £300 have been I've contributed to that. So if we have a look at the investments within the pension, still just as it was the month before, Life Strategy 100 Equity Fund, and as you can see, again the change is 911.42. So if we have a look at the performance, just a nice way of visualizing the growth since it started. So this is the 7th of August 2020, and as you can see, the steep step up is from when I put money in myself, but then the kind of little peaks and troughs over there. That's just how the actual fund itself has been performing. So the total rate of return within my SIP is 24.51%, and then you can break that down as percentages to see what's being contributed, what's being withdrawn out, and the charges. It's quite a good way of viewing it really, because rather than a graph you can see actually the charges, because Vanguard often what they'll do is when it's time to pay a charge, which the reason why I choose Vanguard is because their fees are so low, but they'll just sell a small percentage of one of your funds and then take the money, so it's completely automatic and you don't have to worry about paying any charges. They just do it all for you. But if every now and again you want to just see what's going on, just log in and you can look at this page. Then on month you can see what you've added and what's been taken out of that particular account. And then as you can see there's nothing too complex about it, keeping it as simple as possible. That's my investment strategy going forward, and I plan for that always to be the case. We've got one fund in there, and I'm happy with that at the moment. So if we have a look at the ISA, so again the graph, you can see there's more steps up here, and gradually from the 15th of July to the £87.94, that's from a transfer that I made from Moneybox, which I started investing with, which is a good way I rounded up my money. When I got to close to £100, I transferred across to Vanguard and then committed to a monthly amount of £100 to invest every single month. And then you can see between the months more and more steps up, and as time has moved on, I've added more and more money in to the account to where we're at the moment, at just over £3,000. So the rate of return for the ISA, 25.84%, and again no difference to my strategy within the ISA. My pension, I'm going to just continue to do pound cost average, put money in whenever I can, every month definitely, but if I can do it multiple times a month I will do, just to smooth out the returns over time and grow this part as big as possible. So same page, the calculations page, you can see the charges of £1.19. And then we look at all the transactions, including charges. All automatic, nothing to worry about. That's why I love Vanguard. And then finally, you can see within the investment, completely transparent, exactly the same, Life Strategy 100 Equity Fund, and all of the money in that account is sitting there. So I know I've done this in the previous videos, but it's quite good to visually see with the Life Strategy 100 the top 8 geographical regions as to where that money, the majority of that money is invested, and there's percentages. And I know a lot of people talk about the Life Strategy funds being heavily weighted towards the UK. 46%, they, as far as their calculations say, that is invested in North America. And in North America, obviously that's where a large amount of the world's money is being invested in sort of in the S&P 500. And as you can see here, within this actual fund itself, there is money in the S&P 500, so 13.6 of it is within the Vanguard S&P 500 UCITS ETF. So, I know I talk about these funds quite a lot, the life strategy funds, but it really is the simplest way to invest. Because if you wanted to do this all yourself, think of how much time it would take to research where to put into all these funds, or to set it all up and see what the charges are. It's just a blanket fund for complete ease for the beginner or even the advanced investor, really. You can just set up a direct debit and just never look at it for 20-30 years, and it's all done for you. It really is a no-brainer. So obviously I'm pretty happy so far with the performance of the portfolio, and now that I've reached my £3,000 target much earlier than I expected, I'm going to set some new targets, and I think probably for at least this year a reachable target would be the £10,000 mark for the portfolio value by the end of the year, and then we'll reassess. And going forward, obviously I want to set my sights on higher goals as my income from work increases, which it is and will do, and money from hopefully from side hustles. I will redirect some of that money towards investments as well. So hopefully there should be sort of an exponential growth curve over the next few years, where not just aiming for the 10,000 or 20,000, aiming for 6-digit values within the next few years. So yeah, I hope you got some value from that. So there you are, the updated numbers from my portfolio. I've got to say, I'm pretty happy thus far as to where it's at. If you have any questions at all about what I'm doing or how to get started, please feel free to leave a comment below or send me a DM on Instagram or TikTok. The links to these are below. So thanks again for watching. Stay tuned for more videos, and if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button.